Okay, so this is a corded Ryobi hedge trimmer, which I picked up for $100 South African. So what's that? £5. Doesn't work, doesn't turn on. If you plug it in, it's just silent. No humming, no smoke, no anything. What is slightly worrying about it is that I'm not the first person in here. This has been taken off already. Just the guard. Some sort of screw missing in there, which holds these two halves together, the handle. So yeah, let's get the screws out that we can. Take a look inside. One of the two switches, you have to hold the one in the handle as well, back here, the trigger, but you also have to hold this one with the other hand. I suppose it keeps your fingers away from this. I noticed that it was on this orange piece was on this side. Maybe it slipped past it, because I think it's probably supposed to be that side. I say that because it's worn, it's got discolored over here. So yeah, maybe that's what it wanted. The leaf out of there. The pin back in there. That can't be right. That can't be right. There we go, that goes on there, like that. First bit of weirdness is put this pin back in here, make sure the spring is behind that. There we go, like that. Oh yeah, that feels much better. This is also a cable running between this and this switch, so which is quite interesting. And I don't know what's going on here. That's a micro switch, and that's another micro switch there, which that is quite interesting. Trying to figure out why there are two of them. Well, there we go. See, if you pull that, or push that forward, I should say, then that actually moves this little bit here as well. So you wonder if one of these is meant to be something like that. Horrible feeling these micro switches have been rearranged. There's a bit graunched, obviously. Okay. There's a cutout over here, which these cables clearly go through for routing. Probably shouldn't do that. Put the cover off. Let's not turn it on. Righty, so it looks like right about there and there are two, well, holes through these micro switches which go into the case. Looks like this is about the right length, but this is actually from here, the hinge point for the actual trigger. So they're missing because somebody else has opened it up and taken them out, I suppose, or lost them. And looks like it's time to make some out of this. So just measure it up and cut it with an angle grinder, and from there, yeah, maybe smooth off the ends slightly and come test fit. Okay, each of them a bit long, which is good. Now I can grind them down to the right length and get rid of the skew cuts on the ends. Okay, so I tried reassembling it with these things pinned into position, the micro switches. Still no joy. I'm very hesitant to try and operate this thing with the cover off. But worried about all these gears and things flying apart. So, I'm going to try continuity mode and see if these micro switches are actually working. So, after checking the micro switches, and they checked out alright, trying to figure out what else was wrong here. I could see the power was coming in, and then started looking around the motor here, and eventually figured out that, found that this wire here, which was hidden under these other two wires here, for some strange reason, had become, strange reason had been hidden. So it had actually been disconnected. And then once, you could see there's a little connector in here. They actually just soldered this back in place inside there with a very small soldering iron tip. And then after that, it would chooch. So now it chooches. But next problem. Found out that it didn't work at all to cut, because if you look here, you can see that these blades are the wrong way around. See, that's not going to cut. That's angled like that. There we go. So you can see here, that's wrong, and that's wrong. So now, obviously it's just swap these two blades around, right? These two independent parts. But the screw head, not the screw head, the end of the screw, that bit there, seems to have been a bit graunched, so I'm busy grinding it away because the nut doesn't want to turn off. So can try and get this off. The problem is it turns, even though the screw So even though it turns without the screw turning, so just the nut, it doesn't come off. You can just turn it either which way and it just doesn't move up or down. So trying various things, including pulling on it with a pair of vice grips while turning it. But I think what we need to do is just chew it up a bit until that top of the screw, or the bottom of the screw I suppose, has been worn away. So give that a go. Now, let's see if we can get it off there. It actually turns quite easily. But I need it to come up. Okay, not that easily. Ah yes, but now it's actually starting to thread itself off there. Ha! Victory. Okay, now I can take that off there. Don't lose the little hardened bitty. Almost lost it. Cool. Put those away safely. Now it's a simple matter of flipping that to be down, and of course flipping the other one as well, so that now they will be this way around. There you go. So now you get this kind of effect going, rather than, well, rather than that, which ends up being very ineffectual. Now I'll just clean this up with sandpaper. Some of it's a bit dull, and it'll be good. See, those edges there are quite a bit, well, sharper and brighter. So unfortunately, I think this thing's taken a bit of abuse before I got hold of it. You can see there. It's not too bad though. Filed it. Got a bit of an edge going on it now. So let's see what happens. I think what happened is some of these got bent, and as a result some of these teeth now catch on the safety ones. Not so much this section, but that section seems okay. Yeah, the problem seems to be over here. Yeah, there we go. This one right here. Because if you do that, I take this one and bend it up ever so slightly. It's time to reassemble. Okay, so reassembly time. Neighbour's compensating for his small motorbike engine. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Better not to tighten all these little nuts before you get these holes here aligned. Ah. Take a guess that this was meant to go this way. When I bought it and opened it up, it was just sitting down there somewhere. It does not make any sense. That also makes no sense. So let's do that, that. Yeah, I suppose that's the trick, right? You buy something else that somebody else has already taken apart, and then you got to figure out how to put it back together properly. Not necessarily the way it came apart. There's something that got cut up with this thing. Right about now I'm having some sympathy for the person who took this apart previously, probably to try and fix it. This has broken off. The whatever you want to call it, the brush holder, it's got the little spring-loaded detent here, and that's snapped off now. I'm just amazed at how that has broken off. I thought I was being quite gentle with it. This tiny little thingy here is obviously broken. So I found this piece of metal which is about the same thickness as the actual, like that, about the same thickness. So I think we can fabric cobble something together. Yeah, take it apart. It is cutting. There we go. Hopefully it's able to crimp the wire on end. Touch of the grinder, and now it's looking quite a bit. Okay, so this is what we came up with. Just going to solder it on there, stop it getting loose, coming loose. And of course it's easier said than done sometimes, but yeah, you see, bugger thing. I think that's going to come loose. There we go, that's working. Safety switch 1, safety, to pull this bit in here, which then raises this bit in there. One final check. Yeah. Good. One last bitty. This little what's a translucent protector. However, because somebody else took it apart, they've lost the screws, which attach it here. So I'm just going to use some wood screws because that's what I have. So wood strikes me as the closest thing to plastic. Oh, shouldn't come off, might shake loose. Always put a dab of super glue or Loctite in there. I don't have Loctite, so it'll be super glue. Okay. Oil those blades. Let's soak in for a bit. That seems to be working. Time to test it out.